Welcome back. Somebody emailed me the other day to tell me that if you say Trtan back time 3 times real fast, together, Beetlejuice appears and turns off your TV.
Trtan back time. Trtan back time. Trtan!
Okay, for those of you still with us, here's Trtan back time. May 12th, 1896, the New York Department of Health passes the first ban in the United States on spitting in public places and transit systems. It was punishable by a $1 to $5 fine and up to a year in jail. The ban was intended to help prevent the spread of diseases such as tuberculosis. There's a reason for it, not just slipping and falling. Happy birthday to Yogi Berra. Lawrence Peter Berra, born May 12th, 1925, American Baseball Hall of Famer, catcher, MVP, 1951, 54, 55 with the Yankees. Famous quotes attributed to him, among many: "It ain't over till it's over," "A nickel ain't worth a dime anymore," "Always go to other people's funerals, otherwise they won't go to yours."
That's good.
"If the people don't want to come to the park, nobody's going to stop them." He said a lot of things.
Wise words. I didn't know that it's not over till it's over. I didn't know that was him.
Yogi Berra. A lot of them are attributed to him. He didn't necessarily say them, but that's the kind of
Yeah.
All right. May 13th, 1984. According to the 1984 action classic movie The Terminator arrives back in 1984 from the year 2029 to kill Sarah O'Connor to prevent her son from saving humans from machines in a post-apocalyptic future. That's the date of his arrival. I'll be back. Happy birthday to Stevie Wonder. Stevland Morris is his name. Born May 13, 1950. Of course, American Grammy, Oscar-winning Hall of Fame singer. Blind since shortly after birth. He was a child prodigy who signed with Motown when he was 11 years old. When he was 13, his single fingertips made #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making him the youngest artist ever to top the chart. He's one of the best-selling music artists of all time, having sold over 100 million records. His blindness was a result of being born 6 weeks premature and placed in an oxygen-rich hospital incubator, which caused the growth of his eyes to stop, resulting in detached retinas.
Oh, my goodness.
Lewis and Clark expedition, May 14, 1804. The famed explorers Meriwether Lewis and William Clark depart from St. Louis, Missouri to begin exploration of the Louisiana Purchase. Their work established a route to the Pacific. Happy birthday to the humanity, Herbert Morrison, born May 14, 1905, American radio reporter. He reported the Hindenburg explosion, and he exclaimed, "Oh, the humanity."
Oh, gosh.
On the radio.
So what did it run into to explode? Was it a tower?
They were docking at the time. There are a lot of, hydrogen may have blown up, hydrogen, or there may have been a spark, or it may have been sabotage.
Ooh.
That was a German Nazi airship. It wasn't there. It was, the hydrogen.
Yeah.
So it was very explosive. That kind of brought those to an end.
Oh, the humanity.
Yes, that's it exactly. Some people survived it too.
Really?
First Mickey Mouse cartoon, May 15th, 1928. Plane Crazy is test screened in a theater as a silent film. It featured Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. It didn't test well and was not distributed to other theaters. However, after the success of Steamboat Willie, sound was added, and it was re-released in 1929. Happy birthday to Pierre Curie, born May 15, 1859, French Nobel-winning physicist. He and his wife, Marie Curie, were pioneers in the study of radioactivity. He died while crossing a street in the rain when he slipped and fell under a heavy horse-drawn cart. One of the wheels ran over his head, fracturing his skull, killing him instantly. Now, had he not died of an accident, he likely would have eventually died of the effects of radiation, as did his wife, their daughter Irene, and her husband Friedrich Joliot. however it's pronounced. Even to this day, all their papers from the 1890s, even her cookbooks, are too dangerous to touch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they handled that stuff.
Okay.
May 16, 1983, first TV broadcast of Michael Jackson's signature move, the moonwalk. Michael Jackson performed the dance move during the song Billie Jean for the TV show Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever Motown 25. Yeah, okay. Which had been taped before a live audience on March 25th in 1983. Happy birthday to Charles F. Brannock. Everybody knows this. Born May 16, 1903, American inventor. He invented the Brannock device in 1925. That's the metal shoe size measure thing used in thousands of shoe stores. Brannock managed the company that manufactured the device until his death at age 89 in 1992. He was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 1992. And finally this. What do you call a bird that is afraid to fly?
Wingless?
A chicken.
A chicken.
A chicken.
Also, you were talking about the Brannock thing. You're like, everyone knows this. I had no idea.
Have you never seen one of those
I've
things
seen,
in a shoe?
but
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was supposed to
Well,
do.
everybody knows this. I was just kind of referring to the picture.
Oh, okay.
But
Yes.
Yeah. All the shoe stores had them, and that you had separate one for men and for women.
I love that. Turn back time, everybody.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say is your favorite event that you covered today in Turn Back Time?
Wow, that's tough because I do like all of those things. I think the Pierre Curie thing is interesting because they were very early with radium and things like that. He died, his wife, his daughter, her husband all died of radiation poisoning, and you still can't handle their papers because it's all radioactive.
Did they have anything to do with Chernobyl, or is that?
No.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. But again, if you're going to be an inventor, you might be dealing with stuff that could kill you.
Yeah.
But the horse-drawn carriage, he slipped on water.
Slipped on water underneath.
Probably someone spit because it wasn't back in the.
Oh yeah, there was no spitting. No spitting laws hadn't come in effect.
Yeah, that is. Tom Schmidt. Now I know you and Tom Trtan talk a lot about history. So what from that Turn Back Time was your favorite?
Well, I think it's interesting to see how many phrases were attributed to Yogi Berra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
It's not over till it's over.
Ain't over till it's over. Didn't realize that one. Yeah.
Who said it ain't over till the fat lady sings?
It's got to be somebody in like opera or something.
Just kidding.